I never thought a simple breakfast could be the reason for so much pain. But then, one morning, a patient named Margaret, 75 years old, full of life, but struggling, walked into my office. She sat down, rubbed her aching knees, and sighed. "Doctor, I don't understand. I eat healthy. I walk every day. But every morning, my legs feel like they're on fire. It's getting harder to move." Margaret wasn't alone. Over the years, I've heard the same story from hundreds of seniors, people who want to stay active, independent, and pain-free, but feel like their bodies are working against them. And do you know the shocking truth? In most cases, it's not age that's the enemy. It's what's on their plate. Hi, I'm Dr. James Caldwell, a nutritionist specializing in senior health. For over 20 years, I've helped people over 60 regain their energy, mobility, and confidence simply by making smarter food choices. And today, I want to reveal something that could change the way you think about breakfast forever. Because what if I told you that the way you're combining your eggs in the morning might be fueling your joint pain? That's something as innocent as a slice of toast or a piece of bacon could be silently triggering inflammation in your body? Sounds unbelievable, right? But the science is clear: certain food combinations create the perfect storm for arthritis and joint pain. The good news? Small changes can lead to life-changing results. Imagine waking up in the morning and stepping out of bed with ease, no more stiffness, no more aching knees. Imagine feeling stronger, moving freely, and doing the things you love without pain holding you back. That's exactly what we're going to talk about today. So if you're tired of waking up sore and stiff, if you're ready to take back control of your health, stay with me. Because by the end of this, you'll know exactly which foods to avoid and the simple swaps that can make all the difference. Let's get started. But here's the shocking truth I've uncovered over the years. Some of the foods you've been eating every day, foods you've always trusted to keep you healthy, might actually be making your arthritis worse. Yes, you heard that right. The same foods that seem so harmless, that are a part of your routine for years, could be quietly fueling your joint pain and inflammation. Take eggs, for example. Most people think of them as a powerhouse of nutrition packed with protein, vitamins, and healthy fats. They're an essential part of many breakfasts, right? But here's the kicker. When eggs are paired with certain common foods, they could be triggering an inflammatory response in your body. I'm talking about foods like processed meats, bacon, sausage, or even ham and refined carbs like white bread or bagels. These combinations might seem harmless, even comforting, but in reality, they're doing the opposite of what you think. They're slowly worsening your pain and stiffness. Let's break it down. When you combine eggs with bacon, your body is flooded with sodium, nitrates, and unhealthy fats. These ingredients not only put extra strain on your heart, but also cause systemic inflammation, especially in your joints. Imagine your body as a well-oiled machine. It moves freely when everything is running smoothly. But when these harmful foods are introduced, it's like putting sand in the gears. Your joints get tighter, your muscles feel heavier, and before you know it, every step feels like a struggle. Now, you might be thinking, but I've been eating this way for years, and I've never had a problem. Well, that's the tricky part sometimes. The damage happens so gradually that you don't even notice it. You wake up with stiffness, your knees ache after walking, and you think it's just part of getting older. But it doesn't have to be that way. The good news is, you have more control over your health than you think. Margaret, the patient I told you about, was a perfect example. She had been eating the same breakfast for years: eggs, bacon, and toast. But once we took a closer look at her diet and swapped out a few things, she started feeling better within just a few weeks. No more joint pain, No more stiffness. She was even able to walk without her cane for the first time in months. Imagine that. A few simple changes can make all the difference. And that's what I'm here to help you with, finding the right combinations that reduce inflammation and support your joints without compromising flavor or comfort. You deserve to feel better, move better, and live better without the hidden pain lurking in your meals. So, are you ready to learn which foods are sabotaging your health and which ones will support it? Stay with me, because this is just the beginning. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, but I've always eaten like this. It can't be that bad. And honestly, I used to think the same way until I saw firsthand the impact these habits were having on people like you. The truth is, the food you eat today might not just be contributing to your aches and pains. It could be setting the stage for even more serious health issues down the road. Let me tell you about Tom. Tom was in his mid-70s when we first met. He had been dealing with joint pain for years, but assumed it was just a part of getting older. Every morning, he'd have his eggs, bacon, and a slice of white toast. It was his comfort food, a ritual that felt like home. But what he didn't realize was that these familiar foods were silently driving up the inflammation in his body, making his arthritis worse and triggering new, painful flare-ups. I remember the day Tom told me he was afraid he wouldn't be able to walk much longer. The pain in his knees, the stiffness in his back, it was taking away his independence. And it wasn't just the physical pain, it was the emotional toll of not being able to do the things he loved, like gardening or taking a walk with his grandkids. He was scared. When we looked closer at his diet, I realized that those daily food choices weren't just harmless, they were dangerous. The combination of processed meats like bacon with eggs was sending his body into a constant state of inflammation, worsening his arthritis. And that white toast? It was causing spikes in his blood sugar, which then triggered more inflammatory reactions in his joints. Over time, this vicious cycle only made things worse. What really hit me, though, was when Tom said, "I thought I was doing everything right. I've always heard eggs were good for me." And I told him, "Tom, eggs are good, but not when they're paired with the wrong foods." What he didn't know was that every bite he took was quietly increasing the inflammation in his body, leading to a situation where every movement, every step became harder and harder. That's the scary part. It can sneak up on you. One day, you're feeling fine, and the next, you're waking up with swollen joints, aching legs, and a sense of helplessness. And if you don't take action now, that pain could become chronic. It could lead to even more serious conditions like nerve damage or reduced mobility that might leave you dependent on others for simple tasks. But it's not too late to make a change. It's not about completely giving up the foods you love. It's about making smarter choices, knowing which combinations will heal your body instead of harm it. Tom took those first steps, and today he's walking again without pain. If you keep eating the same way without understanding how it affects your body, the consequences could be even worse. Your body is speaking to you, telling you it's time to change. Don't wait until it's too late. Take control now, before the damage becomes irreversible. As I sat with Tom, we delved deeper into his diet, and I saw his eyes widen as I shared a truth he had never considered. Some of the foods we've always thought were healthy might actually be making things worse. Take eggs, for example. We've been told time and time again that eggs are a superfood packed with protein, vitamins, and nutrients. But what if I told you that eggs, when paired with certain foods, can actually trigger more inflammation in your joints? I know it sounds surprising, maybe even a little confusing, right? After all, eggs are considered a staple for many of us, whether it's for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. But the issue isn't with eggs themselves, it's with how we pair them. When combined with processed meats like bacon or sausage, eggs can worsen joint pain because they increase the levels of uric acid in your body. That's a dangerous combination, especially when your body's ability to process these foods becomes less efficient as we age. Tom was shocked. But I always thought eggs were a healthy choice, he said. I could tell he was processing this new information. He had been led to believe that eggs were the perfect go-to meal for a protein boost, but he didn't know the full story. And it's not just eggs. What about bread? For many seniors, a slice of white bread or a bagel alongside their eggs is an easy, comforting choice. But those seemingly innocent slices are doing damage. White bread and other refined carbohydrates are stripped of nutrients and fiber, quickly turning into sugar once consumed. This sugar spike triggers inflammation in your joints, especially in areas already vulnerable due to age and arthritis. Then there's milk. Many of us grew up being told that milk was the key to strong bones. It's been a staple of our diets for decades, promoted as a good source of calcium. But did you know that for some people, milk can actually aggravate joint pain? The proteins in dairy, particularly casein, can contribute to inflammation, especially for those with sensitivities or weakened digestive systems. So even that glass of milk you thought was helping your bones might be doing the opposite. At this point, Tom couldn't believe it. I've been feeding myself these foods, thinking I was doing the right thing, he said, shaking his head. And I get it. We've all been misled by conventional wisdom, believing that what we've been told is always true. But as we age, our bodies react differently. It's time we start questioning what we put on our plates. It's about taking control, understanding the real effects these foods have on our health, and making smarter choices that support our joints, our mobility, and our independence. I could see the worry in Tom's eyes, and I knew it was time to shift the focus. I know this may seem overwhelming, Tom, I said gently, but here's the thing: you do have control. You can make changes that will actually help your body heal and feel better, starting with what you put on your plate. I smiled, trying to reassure him. It's not about completely cutting out the foods you enjoy. It's about making smarter choices that align with what your body needs, especially as we age. And trust me, there are plenty of delicious, nutritious alternatives that will help your joints feel better, reduce inflammation, and give you the strength to stay active. I began with a simple yet powerful shift: vegetables. Instead of relying on processed meats like bacon or sausage, I suggested Tom start his day with leafy greens like spinach or kale. These vegetables, when sautéed lightly in olive oil, are not only packed with anti-inflammatory nutrients, but are also gentle on the digestive system. Plus, they're easy to prepare and can be paired with eggs to make a delicious, nutrient-rich breakfast that won't aggravate your joints. How about swapping that glass of milk for something like almond milk or coconut milk? I continued. Dairy can cause inflammation for some people, but there are plenty of non-dairy alternatives that can be just as satisfying. Almond milk, for instance, is rich in vitamin E, which is great for your skin and joints, and it's much gentler on your digestive system. Tom nodded thoughtfully, clearly starting to see a path forward. And if you're craving carbs, let's ditch the white bread and bagels, I added. Instead, try quinoa or sweet potatoes. These are complex carbs that provide steady energy without causing sugar spikes. Plus, sweet potatoes are loaded with antioxidants, which can help protect your joints from further damage. I paused for a moment, watching Tom process everything I had said. The key here is balance, I reassured him. By swapping out a few simple things, you're not depriving yourself of flavor or comfort. You're nourishing your body with foods that promote healing and vitality. I could see the shift in his demeanor. Instead of feeling helpless, he felt empowered. It sounds like I can actually make a difference, he said, a smile starting to form on his face. Exactly, I said, nodding. You've got this, Tom. It's all about making informed choices. And that's the first step toward taking back control of your health. With these small changes, you'll not only feel better, but you'll also help protect your joints and muscles for years to come. I could see a spark in Tom's eyes. Now he was no longer just listening, but truly engaged in the conversation. You know, I've always heard that small changes can make a big difference, but I didn't realize how much control I had over my joint health. I think I'm ready to give it a shot. Tom, that's the mindset you need, I said, my voice full of encouragement. And honestly, you don't have to wait any longer. You can start making those changes right now. No need to wait for the perfect time. Today is the perfect time to start protecting your health and your joints. I could feel the excitement building, and I knew that this moment, this realization, was what would set Tom and others like him on the path to change. Think about it, I continued. You already have everything you need to start. Your kitchen, your grocery list, those are your tools. You don't need a fancy diet plan or special supplements. Just start with simple swaps. Swap out inflammatory foods for nourishing, healing ones. Like I said, leafy greens, sweet potatoes, healthy fats like olive oil, and non-dairy alternatives. These are just the beginning. Tom's face lit up. I can really do this, huh? Absolutely, you can, I said, smiling. And I bet you're not the only one who's thinking about this right now. Maybe someone in your family, a friend, or a neighbor struggles with the same issues. Think about sharing what you've learned today. When you talk about how a simple change in diet can make a world of difference, you might just inspire them to take action too. The more we share, the more we can support each other in making healthier choices. It was time to take it a step further. If you're watching this right now, I want you to take a moment and think about your own health. What changes can you make today to support your joints? What's one thing you're willing to swap out of your daily routine? Start with one thing, and I promise you'll begin to notice the difference. I leaned in, a little more serious now. And here's the thing, don't just keep this to yourself. Share this with someone else. Share this video. Talk to your loved ones. Start a conversation. You never know who might need to hear this and take action themselves. Tom was already nodding, and I could tell he was ready to go home and make those changes. I'm going to do it, he said. I'm starting today. That's the spirit, Tom, I said with a smile. Remember, small steps lead to big changes. You've got this. And with that, I encouraged everyone watching to take action, share the video, and start a conversation about joint health and the power of food. Together, we could create a ripple effect, empowering others to take charge of their own health starting today. Through Tom's journey, we've learned an essential truth. The food we eat directly impacts our health, especially as we age. Tom didn't realize how much control he had over his joint health until he took a closer look at his daily habits. By simply swapping out foods that contribute to inflammation and choosing nourishing, anti-inflammatory options, Tom has taken his first step toward better health. The key takeaway is that small, mindful changes today can make a big difference tomorrow. It's not about perfection. It's about progress and making healthier choices consistently. For those watching, remember this. You have the power to change your health, one meal at a time. Start with small swaps, like adding more vegetables, opting for healthier fats, and reducing processed foods. Your body will thank you, and so will your joints. And as you embark on this journey, Don't keep it to yourself. Share what you've learned with friends and family. Together, we can build a community of support and empowerment. Before we end, I want to hear from you. How has your relationship with food changed as you've learned more about its impact on health? What changes have you made? Or what steps are you planning to take? Leave your thoughts, experiences, or any questions in the comments below. If you found value in today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the Senior Moments Matt channel for more insights. And don't forget to share this video with others who might benefit. Let's continue the conversation and take charge of our health, one step at a time.